In this video, we will be going over number 21 through 30 in the math portion of the 2018 to 2019 official practice ACT. Starting with number 21, Laura plans to paint the 8-foot-high rectangular walls of her room, and before she buys paint, she needs to know the area of the wall surface to be painted. 2 walls are 10 feet wide, and the other 2 walls are 15 feet wide. The combined area of the one window and the one door in her room is 60 square feet. What is the area in square feet of the wall surface Laura plans to paint? So we're trying to figure out the area that she needs to paint, so of the wall surface. And we know that the combined area of the window and the door in her room are 60 square feet. And the window and the door don't need to be painted. So we need to figure out what is the area of the rest of her room and subtract 60 feet. So we know she has 2 different sizes of walls. We have one that is 8 feet high and 15 feet wide. And she has 2 more that are 10 feet wide and 8 feet tall. So she has 2 of each of these. So 15 times 8, our total area for that wall is 120. 10 times 8, our total area for that is 80. So now we have 2 of each of these. So our total area is 2 times 120 plus 2 times 80. And then we have to subtract our 60 square feet that we know is taken up by the one window and the one door. When we type all this in our calculator, we get 340. So 340 square feet need to be painted, which matches our answer choice B. So our answer to number 21 is B. Okay, the length of a rectangle is 5 inches longer than the width. The perimeter of the rectangle is 40 inches. What is the width of the rectangle in inches? So first of all, we know that perimeter is found by just adding up the lengths of all 4 sides. If we were to draw a picture of our rectangle, if we have our length is 5 inches longer than our width. So we're going to say this is our width. Our length is 5 inches longer. So we simply just do our length, or our width plus 5. So our length is x plus 5. Now we find our perimeter by adding up all of our sides, and we know that our perimeter is equal to 40 inches. So we can do 40 equals 2 times x plus 5 plus 2 times x. We can simplify this by distributing 2. So we get 40 is equal to 2x plus 10 plus 2x. We can bring the 10 to our the left side of our equation. So we get 30 equals, and then we can combine the 2 x's to get 4x. Now we solve for x by dividing by 4, and we get x is then equal to 7.5, which matches our answer choice F. It is important to make sure that they are actually asking for what our value of x is. So what is the width of the rectangle? Our width is x, so it would be 7.5. 8% of 60 is 1/5 of what number? There are a few parts of this question, so let's first start by finding 8% of 60. We can do that by doing 60 times 8 over 100. You could also just write 8% in decimal form and do 60 times 0.08. Either way, you will get 4.8. So we know that 8% of 60 is 4.8. So now 4.8 is 1/5 of what number? Okay, so we know 4.8 is equal to is 1/5 of what number, which we'll call x. So just like we did here, we had a number, and we have the percentage, so we multiply by the percentage to get our resulting number. Now we have our resulting number times our percentage or fraction times our initial number. We're just solving for x. So to do that, we can get x by itself, multiplying both sides by 5. And on this side, we can cancel those 5s. So we end up with x is equal to 5 times 4.8, which equals 24, which matches our answer choice C. So 1/5 of 24 is equal to 4.8, which we could test. We could also take 24 times 1/5, and we would get 4.8, because we're just doing this equation backwards. Number 24, Armin is trying to decide whether to buy a season pass to his college basketball team's 20 home games this season. The cost of an individual ticket is $14, and the cost of a season pass is $175. The season pass will admit Armin to any home basketball game at no additional cost. What is the minimum number of home basketball games Armin must attend this season in order for the cost of a season pass to be less than the total cost of buying an individual ticket for each game he attends? In this one, we know that the season pass will cost $175. And we want to know how many games must he attend for the cost of a season pass to be less than the total cost of buying an individual ticket for each game he attends. So we want the cost of the season pass to be less than whatever he pays if he were to buy tickets individually. So we know that 175 should be less than 14 times x. X is standing in for the number of games he attends. From here, we can just solve for x by dividing both sides by 14. And 175 divided by 14 gives us 12.5. So we know that x is going to be greater than 12.5 in order for the cost of the season pass to be less than the cost of paying for each game individually. So what is the minimum number of home basketball games he must attend? 13 would be the minimum. Because 12, it would be cheaper to purchase 12 individual tickets at $14. And 20, it would be less expensive to get the season pass, but that's not the minimum number of home basketball games he must attend. So our answer to number 24 is J. Number 25, here we have a question dealing with exponents. If we remember our exponent rule, we know that when we're dividing exponents, we really just subtract them. So if we have x to the power of a over x to the power of b, that is equal to x to the power of a minus b. So in this case, we have these 10s right here and right here. So 10 to the power of negative 7 divided by 10 to the power of negative 11. We can do that. So we do negative 7 minus negative 11, and that gives us positive 4. So we know our exponent is going to be positive 4. So at the end, we're going to have something times 10 to the positive 4. Now we have to deal with this 4.8 divided by 1.6, which we can just type in our calculator, 4.8 divided by 1.6, and we find that that equals 3.0. So our final answer, we combine both of these, we get 3.0 times 10 to the 4th, which matches our answer choice A. You could also just type this equation fully into your calculator all at once. The only thing to watch out for if you do that is make sure you include parentheses around everything on top and everything on the bottom, or you will get an answer that does not match the correct answer. Moving on to number 26, A circle in the standard xy coordinate plane has centers of -1, 2, and passes through point A, 2, 6. Line segment AB is the diameter of this circle. What are the coordinates of point B? We can figure out here if we do a little bit of a sketch of a graph. So we know that it has a center of -1, +2. So the center of our circle will be right here, about. This doesn't have to be a perfect sketch. And then we know that there's a point that passes through point. There's a point at 2, 6. So we have 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a point right here. And then we can draw the rest of our circle. And we know, so this is point A, this is our center, and this would be point B over here. We want to know the coordinates of point B. So we could figure that out by deciding how far we go over to the right and how far we go up. Starting from point C, we go 1, 2, 3 over to the right on our x coordinate plane. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left to get to point B. So 3 points to the left of C, which we see right here, would be -4. Now, how many times do we need to go down? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 down from our 2 here, which would give us -2. So our new points, or point B, would be -4, -2, which matches answer choice H. Moving on to number 27. Which of the following expressions is a factor of x cubed minus 64? Now this question, if we notice this is a difference of cubes, we can use our difference of cubes equation, which tells us that a to the third power minus b to the third power equals a minus b times a squared plus a times b plus b squared. So here we have a cubed and then minus b cubed. So if we know b cubed is equal to 64, we can solve for b by taking the cube root. So we know that b is equal to 4. And then a is equal to x. Now we just plug our a and b into our equation, which gives us x minus 4 times x squared plus 4x, and then we do plus 4 squared, which is 16. So which of the following is a factor? Well, these are two of our factors, x minus 4 and x squared plus 4x plus 16. Do we see either of these in our answer choices? Yes. Our answer choice A is x minus 4, which is one of our factors. Looking at option E, that's pretty close to our second factor, but this would need to be a plus instead of a minus. So E is not correct. Number 28, the average of a list of 4 numbers is 90. A new list of 4 numbers has the same first 3 numbers as the original list, but the 4th number in the original list is 80 and the 4th number in the new list is 96. What is the average of this new list of numbers? So we know that our first list, we have 3 numbers, 3 times x, plus 80, because we know that our fourth number in our original list is 80, and we know the average of this list is 90. So we'll do our total number of numbers divided by 4. So we have a total of 4 numbers in the first one. We have 3 of this unknown number x, and we have 80. So now we can solve for x. We multiply both sides by 4. So we get 3x plus 80 equals 360. We subtract 80 from both sides. We get 3x equals 280. So we know 3x equals 280. So that is going to be the average of our first 3 numbers. So that's our average of first 3 numbers. And we know the 3 numbers are remaining the same in our second group. So we can just use 280 plus now our new list, our last number is 96. We're still going to have 4 total numbers. So what's the average of this new list of numbers? Well, we do 280 plus 96 divided by 4, which gives us 94, which matches our answer choice H. Number 29, the number A is located at negative 2.5 on the number line below. One of the following number lines shows the location of A squared. Which number line is it? So this is really just asking us to figure out what negative 2.5 squared is. And it's important to note that the negative goes inside the parentheses. We are not writing it like this, because that would give us a negative answer. Whereas this, the correct answer, would give us a positive answer, because we're plugging this whole number in. This negative 2.5, we're plugging that in for A right here when A is squared. So all of it, including the negative, is going to be squared. So if we take negative 2.5 and we square it, that is equal to 6.25. And remember, that's positive. So now we just have to find the number line that matches. And we go down here to option E, and it looks like this is a little bit above 6. I would say that looks like 6.25. So our answer to number 29 is E. Moving on to number 30. Maria ordered a pizza. She ate only 2/9 of it and gave the remaining pizza to her 3 brothers. What fraction of the whole pizza will each of Maria's brothers receive if they share the remaining pizza equally? So we know she ordered a pizza and ate 2/9 of it. So we start with 1 whole pizza and we subtract 2/9. We can rewrite 1 as 1/1. And then when we add or subtract fractions, we know we need a common denominator. So we can rewrite this as 9/9 minus 2/9, which then 9 minus 2 gives us 7, and our bottom remains 9. So we know that 7/9 of the pizza are left. Now, we know that her 3 brothers each get an equal portion of the pizza. So we're dividing 7/9 into 3 equal parts. And our trick for dividing fractions, if we were to write this as 3/1, is we keep the first fraction, change the sign to multiplication, and flip the second fraction, and then we simply multiply across. So then we get 7 times 1 is 7, and we get 9 times 3, 27, which matches our answer choice J. That was number 21 through 30 on the math portion of the 2018 to 2019 official practice ACT Please join us in the next video where we will go over number 31 through 40 in the math portion of the Practice ACT. Thank you.